What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope you guys are hanging in there better than I am. I have a wicked hangover today. Oh, man. It is, of course, already the future over here in Asia. We're living in it. It's been an amazing 2024. Let me report from the future that 2024 is pretty badass. But you guys will be in it pretty soon on the East Coast there in the United States. Anyways, regardless of where you are in the world, of course, I am Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. We are 100% having a fun one today. In fact, this is an episode that I wanted to do for a while, but I decided today is a great day to do it because we can just relax, we can sit back, we can have a beer because it's going to be hair of the dog for me, baby. Just keeping it going here with the nice tiger here as we get this thing rolling through 2024. And cheers to those that are on the East Coast. You guys are about to be there in another 18 minutes. So cheers to you guys, and cheers to all you guys who are supporting this channel. So cheers to you guys right off the bat. Also, big up to my boy Tank Rat with 50 Legal Mindset memberships off rip. We don't even have to wait. We don't have to wait. Tank Rat is getting in there with memberships, and I love it. I absolutely love and support it. I love there's like one or two people that were like, oh man, there were so many. Oh my God, why do you always read out all the memberships? No, these guys are out here supporting the channel. These guys are making sure that other folks have access to things like the emojis, the members only streams. They're helping people out. So of course I'm going to shout them out. They're helping me, and therefore I am going to give them the credit that they indeed deserve. And we're already limited. How are we limited? We are already yellow, guys. So make sure you are smashing the like button so YouTube knows, hey, you guys have no idea what was going down here. You have no idea what this stream is about. But let me give a quick shout out to those that got a membership by Tank Rat. That is Incoherent Turd, Dave C, Alex Skywalker, Michael Turner, David Trailer, Ted Blacklight 69, Spastic Chick, Missin Town, Alec Baldwin's Finger, Morty E, Alex Reacher, Dip Trippy, Hakata, Daniel Roberts, who else was one here? Meredith G, Serenity Now, Nate Houston, Adam Brooks, Flinty Wood 756, NDBM, and Scott Shook. A couple others, Bobby's Enterprise, Bullets, Beauty, Brain, and Bling, and Marcy T and Scott McGinnis. So all you guys and more, please say thank you to Tank Rat off rip. Also, big shout out to the first person here today. I always call out the first person who comments in the chat. And today that was indeed my boy, Invader Talk. So Invader Talk, you're the one who I see who's the first one up on the list commenting today. So shout out to you for winning the number one slot today. Whiskey 77 says it's 11:42 p.m. working on tomorrow's hangover. Listen, whether you're working on today or tomorrow, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all you based members of the BLM who've been with me all through 2023, and also those that have just joined at the end here of 2023. Regardless of whether you've been riding with this channel for years, since back in the Rittenhouse days, or whether you've been starting up for Disney, it doesn't matter, guys. It does not matter. I'm still here for it. But I do want to know, and I want to do this with live chatters because this is kind of an interesting question. When did you join, or when did you start watching my channel? Okay, there's kind of three eras. So there's the Rittenhouse or pre-Rittenhouse, which is like real OGs, back when it was like 10 people in the chat, right? Let's see what happened after that. Amber Heard. Let's see. Maybe I'll call it the LawTube drama arc, or back with Disney. I'll put it out here during kind of different eras of my channel, right? We'll put that out there. Put that out there for everybody. When did you start watching? What brought you to the channel? I already see that Rittenhouse is taking a lead here with 67%, or pre-Rittenhouse. Look at Big Boy. A lot of people got me for that one. A lot of people got me. Tia said, when I saw you in that infamous wedding pic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mike said, I knew about you from Nick when we met on Tuesday Night Main Event. Oh, yeah, that's right, Epic Mike. I remember that. Ricada's stream during the Rittenhouse arc. I was watching before Rittenhouse. I remember you. Rittenhouse when we had 20 people in the morning streams. I do remember. Now, Danielle's a real OG. I mean, she's obviously my OG moderator, so she knows back here. But yeah, it's some people go way back. Blacklight says I came on about 8-9 months ago. Was Disney okay? Grimlin said I started watching when you started your OnlyFans. My only feet? Oh no, you're exposing me. Stop exposing me, Kremlin. You're great with Drex. Drexel has been fun with me. I've had really great fun with him. I know as Drexel redoes his channel and as he's kind of harder to get with, it's going to be more of a special appearance thing than a routine thing with Drexel. But that said, he's obviously a friend of the channel. And he's always welcome when he can stop by. You were just a few hundred subs. I remember that. Fresh and fit, but also the LawTube drama. Oh, that's true. And of course, I used to go on Fresh and Fit fairly often. I think I was on there 2-3 times, but I haven't been back to Miami, so I haven't gone on in a while. You and Alina that first day, she crushed you in subs. Look, I'm not mad, but I said it before and I'll say it again. I mean, you get two people doing exactly the same thing or close to the same thing, and one of them is a chick, you know. I mean, it tends to go one way in subs. But listen, I'm happy with what I got. I don't resent anybody or say, oh, I wish I had this or that. I don't play that game. And I am thankful for what I have in the community I have, because you guys are the ones that I want to have. You guys are the base Chads and Stacys out there that have stayed with me through all of it. You've hung around for everything I've covered, whether it's Disney's corruption, whether it was Rittenhouse, Amber Heard. You guys have been here for all of it. And for that, I appreciate y'all, and will always consider the few, the proud, the elite at the topmost of my priorities. Never just getting the most people. Let's see here. Amber said, neither. I found Ricada and then I found you because you recommended. Oh, cool. Online lawyers are sus. Agreed. Online lawyers are incredibly sus. Jennifer says, Depp v. Heard and LawTube drama seem like the same period. There's a little bit of hangover with that. There's like Depp versus Heard when that happened during the trial, and then afterwards when it's like exposed. It's like LawTube exposed behind the scenes. And, you know, and then there's the back and forth, and there was a lot of drama. And of course, I do my best to mitigate that nowadays, which is why I like doing my solo streams. Your expression when the stenographer did a double take because Grosskreutz admitted he pointed first and Fat Boy slapped his forehead was priceless. Fat Boy, Big Boy was like this. He was his head in hand. D. Watts got it right. All lawyers are suspect. Yes. All lawyers are suspect. I'm getting this up on locals. I realize, sorry, locals people, I realize I neglected you. Senpai doesn't forget you. So guys on locals, you will have a live chat up to come hang out and be degenerate and share all your raunchiest memes. Those can all go over there in the locals now. So go join over there on locals. Go hang out and have fun with that, because that's where you're allowed to have fun. That's where there's no restrictions, guys. So locals is up now, guys, for all those that are over there. Los Locos in locals. Yes, they're definitely not able to show a lot of what goes on there. Amber's a quick question. I assume you met Drex through Ricada, but when or how did that happen? Actually, honestly, Drex just like talked about a lot of topics that were similar to the things I was talking about, particularly in exposing sort of the big simp economy, some of the problems with folks just giving this automatic deference to these creators, to these celebrity figures, and also the problem with like modern American relationships. So Drex and I were kind of talking about a lot of the same things at that point. Now, that's not the focus of my channel. It's kind of just something that I find interesting. I enjoy talking about. And from a legal perspective, there's certainly a lot of risks when it comes to relationships and marriage, right? But it's not the primary topic of my channel, unlike Drex's channel, which is pretty much solely focused to MGTOW content and dating content, whatever. All that stuff is on his channel. So, it's something that I think we were simpatico in, at least at first. We have much different views on many things. Hamilton Berger says, Happy New Year, Andrew. Here's to more YouTube in 2024. Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere. A lot of other lawyers and a lot of other people, a lot of other streamers, I see them burning out. I see them having trouble. That's not happening over here. We're going to be continually keeping this going. And that may mean, look, I don't stream every single day. I take a break because sometimes I need to relax, recover, work on other projects, work on my face-to-face work, because I actually do a lot of consultations for folks coming to Asia. I now do face-to-face, real-life immigration work over here in Thailand. So I'm actually doing stuff, especially on the US side. So I am actually doing a lot of quote unquote real legal work. So these things keep me busy. Master Lion says almost to 24 in the countdown to 2024. Yes, absolutely. I guess since it's like, is there a good countdown to 2024? That we should be like kind of like watching here or tuned into. I don't love watching a lot of these stuff because the commentators kind of suck, but maybe it's like I'll just keep up. You know what I'll do is I'll keep up the clock and I'll mute it and just kind of keep it up in the background here. So like I'll get this one, I'll just mute it and kind of keep it off to the side. So it's kind of up there. There we go. So we got the countdown there. It's not too bright, but it's there. Agrila says, I hear Mandy is single. Would you hit it 8 minutes? I heard Mandy is a man. So I guess no, right? I mean, I'm not into that. Yeah. But that said, look, right now we have 200 people in the chat. So guys, make sure you are smashing the like button as you come in. And also make sure you're smashing that pussy over there on Rumble as well. A shout out to the people over on Rumble: Errant, Lile, Slidey Pie, Dark Fox. Appreciate What About It. Good to see all you guys there. Also, I want to give a little special announcement. After this stream, I'm going to go get some breakfast, go get some food in me, because beer cannot be the only thing I'm consuming today. But I will, after I eat, I will be going on Joe Neerman's show as his last special guest. So I will be on there at like 2:30 a.m., right as he closes out. So that's my kind of special announcement. I will be going on Joe's show. It's been a while since I've then there's Drew and the Jew, our number one interaction here, the number one fan favorite interaction. But I've got to make sure I'm the last one, because you save the best for last. Now, let's see. Are we 5 minutes out right now? We're about 5 minutes out from popping off here. It says 10 minutes out. Is my clock off? Is this not right? Wait, hold on. This is not live. I don't think that one's live. Hold on a second, guys. I don't think that's live. I don't think that's a good enough countdown. Hold on. Yeah. I don't think that's correct. I think that one was incorrect. Okay, here we go. Now I got to correct one up. Sorry guys. That was some questionable shit. Here we go. Okay. Got the countdown here. So 4 minutes for you guys, Eastern Standard Time. So my Floridians, Disney World's got 5 minutes. And listen, guys, and we're going to go over it right now. After we hit 2024, we're going to launch right into reviewing 2023. And I want to go over my video from 8 months ago, almost a year ago, predicting the crimes of Disney. So we're going to be hanging back. I'm going to be drinking a beer, and we're going to be going over what's going on with those crimes and whether I was right in my Nostradamus predictions and what is coming for 2024. So the predictions I made for Disney's crimes in 2023, we'll look at them and say, based on the evidence we have now, is this coming in 2024? Whiskey 77 says, as a Tampa resident, I speak out for so many. We are glad you are calling out the rat. As a local, we see more than others outside the state. And Whiskey, you know what people don't see? They don't see the people who work there. That's the thing that really pisses me off about the Disney adults. They often don't see the employees. They don't see the management. They don't see the propaganda. They don't see the truth. They're not seeing the whole picture. They're just seeing the park. The park is not the whole thing. They're not even looking behind the facade because, of course, it's all a facade. It's all a facade. You're not actually in Germany when you're in Epcot. You're not actually in Paris when you're on the Ratatouille ride, right? You're not actually there. But these people, they're just looking at the window dressing, at the cupcakes, at the giveaways. That's all they care about. And I'm just here to expose that and to break that fantasy and to do it from the perspective of someone who used to go to Disney, who used to love Disney, who grew up with Disney. I'm not doing it as a sheer hater, as some sort of like crazy universal stan, because I would prefer Disney be great. I would prefer they make good movies. I would prefer they, just do what they're doing and just continue to be a wholesome place everybody can go and enjoy, instead of being a woke propaganda machine, instead of being synonymous with woke corporation. Woke corporation should not be synonymous with Disney. And I actually got into a little bit of an argument with a friend here. And that friend said, hey, it's good that Disney is pricing people out. It's good that Disney is setting a higher standard. I don't agree. I think Disney should be for everybody. Speaking of for everybody, $100 from the baller Leprechaun Gold. Thank you so much. One of the number one supporters of the channel, Leprechaun Gold, up there with Is This Live and Ted Park and everybody else who's been supporting this channel just very consistently. Tank Rat, you guys have been supporting me consistently. So listen, Leprechaun Gold, you're one of the number ones. Appreciate you. Love you guys. You guys are the best supporters ever. So thank you so much, Leprechaun Gold, for that. And happy New Year's. And we're doing the CD Creek thing. CD Creek is happening. And if you look over here on Rumble, and I'll bring that up in a second. We got one over there because we're almost here. We are really kicking it with it, and we are going to launch in 2024 where we can actually factually make this thing happen. The Indiegogo will be up within the day. So within this calendar day, there'll be an Indiegogo up for it. My next stream, I will be promoting CD Creek. So we're going to be talking about CD Creek on the next stream. So next stream will be 100% CD Creek. Probably it'll be tomorrow at the same time, maybe a little earlier, will be the CD Creek stream. So get prepared for that. But also get prepared for 2024 because we're about to hit it right now. Tim Riggs giving us some of the last Legal Mindset memberships of 2023. Thank you so much for these 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Much appreciated from the based Chad Tim Riggs. Ted Park says, how long before the mouse miscreants go to the big house, not of mouse? I think we've got another year before we go through the trials. I think the charges will be brought in 2024. And then I think there's going to be the procedure. Obviously, Disney is going to try to delay those convictions as long as possible. But I think that throughout 2024 and even into 2025, we're going to see some criminal penalties levied against Disney. That's my prediction. X-Wing says, Happy New Year's, brother. Happy New Year's to all of you guys. It is officially 2024 on the East Coast. Shout down. Cheers to all of you. Happy New Year's to all of you guys in Florida, in North Carolina, South Carolina. Raise up. Take your shirt off. Spin around your head like a helicopter. Shout out to all you guys over there on the East Coast. Cheers. Happy New Year. Absolutely fantastic. Whiskey 77 said, I had a dear friend who was an employee and died there on the clock and they paid the family to share it up and to not talk about it. They pay hush money to these families to not mention anything about it. It's really, really, really messed up. And people don't hear about it because Disney's lawyers bury you in litigation. You've seen what they do. They will file 1 million suits. They don't care. They will just lawsuit you to death. That's what they do. Maria Trujillo says, got recommended around 2021 because I watched a legal eagle video of all things. A legal eagle video got you here. Wow. Happy I made the switch. Getting my passport this month. Hope to get your advice on planning my vacation. Never had one before. Yeah, absolutely. Mario, hit me up by email if you have any questions. I'm happy to give you some recommendations, particularly if it's an Asian one. But I've also, guys, I've traveled all through Europe, Central, South America. I used to be really big into couch surfing, which I met a lot of girls through that too. That was a good one. In Orlando, I would be like, oh, I'll host you, and then come to your place and come to their country and, meet their friends, and, things happen. It's great. It's great. It's a good time. But yeah, I've been all through Europe. I mean, I've seen all the major countries, Eastern Europe. I mean, everything, but I've been everywhere but like Belarus, Russia, and some of the Eastern European countries like Romania, Albania, places like that. Bulgaria, I haven't been to, but I've been to most of that. Central South America, I know, and Asia pretty well. So other than China, I have not been to China yet. I figure I'll end up there eventually, maybe on a flight connection or something. Tim Riggs says, it looks like Disney. I look at Disney like I look at an old forest that got hit by lightning. Sometimes something old needs to be burned out by nature so something can grow in its place. I agree. I really do agree. The forest needs to be destroyed to be rebuilt. It sometimes is true. Patrick Kennedy says, Happy New Year's, D-Gens, and drops 10 legal mindset memberships, followed by, am I reading this right? 50 legal mindset memberships by Tank Rat. And then he drops AED 500, right? It's a red boy over here. Says, Happy New Year's to the chat. Oh, and Andrew. And then he drops another 50. So 100, that's what 150 from Tank Rat. Absolute Chad Maximus today in the chat here, dropping those memberships, bring us to a total of 150. Actually, no more than that. It's going to be 161 memberships today. This is absolutely epic. Thank you so much, Tank Rat, for that. And also thank you, Patrick Kennedy. Appreciate you guys dropping these crazy memberships in the chat and also the crazy support. Thank you so much, Tank Rat. Thank you, Leprechaun Gold, dropping the big red boys in the chat. Appreciate you for that. Tim Riggs says, first saw you during the Ricada Rittenhouse streams, but really didn't start into your channel until the drama fallout after that. Sold me on the Disney coverage, my man. Keep it up. This is my thing, guys. I always was wondering what is going to be my thing, because understand that every lawyer on LawTube kind of has a niche. Well, most of them do. Some of them don't. But for example, like women's soccer, that's been Nate the lawyer's topic. He's taken that one over. He owns it, right? Something like Trump, like Robert Gouveia has been all over the Trump indictments, Trump hearings. So I give him big credit for that, right? There's folks that have covered very, very specific things, right? Canadian gun law, that's Runkle, right? There's other folks who have very, very vices, legal vices. My friend Jeff, who I brought on the scene, he does admiralty law. He does maritime law, right? So obviously that's his thing. If it's a maritime issue, that's Jeff, right? So there's things they know about specifically and things they know about generally. And I think a lot of people were like, Andrew, is he really a lawyer? Like, what does he do? What is this weird area of expertise? Well, it happens to be special district and property law in Florida. And that is to the detriment of Disney. That is to the absolute detriment of Disney, because I know all about this and can expose all of their shenanigans. So I've loved it. It's been great. And I'm enjoying it all the way through. And I'm going to enjoy busting some mouse all through 2024. Also, the poll here in the chat. When did you start watching my channel? 48% watching right now were from Rittenhouse or pre-Rittenhouse. 23% are from Amber Heard, 6% are for drama. So this is officially not a drama tube channel. 23% are Disney. So equal numbers are Amber Heard and Disney. That is actually crazy right now. And then, of course, we've got, so all together, Amber Heard, Disney are tied. Then we've got Rittenhouse is number one. So a lot of you guys are OG veterans that have been around for a while and ridden and rode out with me forever. Hypnotic Rapture said, thank you. Happy New Year. Andrew, Danielle, and all. Thank you so much. And shout out to my mods. I'm going to give a quick shout out. Danielle, Patrick Kennedy, who, look, he may not be the best and most sharp mod, but he is an absolute bro. And Patrick has absolutely, actually, did I mod you here, Patrick? Let me mod you, and then you can never use your powers. Like, you have to promise never to actually do anything. That's the most important rule. But the point is that also Don Baca. Don, listen, Don used to be the mod everywhere. Now he's mostly the mod here, and I appreciate Don for his always spicy comments from Prague. Like, you won't be released from China. No, I probably won't. I'll be locked up for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, Patrick, did I mod you? Oh, hold on 1 second, Patrick. I'm gonna mod you. I wouldn't mod you already. I'm gonna get you right now. It's this Patrick. Here you go. Moderator. Make you a standard moderator. You're a standard moderator now. There you go. You got your wrench. No, you're wrenched now, Patrick. You cannot stop me. You cannot stop it. You guys are great. This chat is great. Talk says, happy International Hangover Day. Cheers to you guys. Thank you so much. Jim and John says $2. Thank you for your analysis on Disney. Thank you for joining me for it. Thank you for having fun doing it. It's been great. It's been fantastic. And I love coming to you guys with high energy on this, excited to do it, just like in the game, having fun with you guys. That's what I want to do on this channel, because that's what this channel has been about. Faris says, keep on the grind set mindset. Absolutely. Also, a big love over here to the Rumble Ghetto. Listen, I pay attention to the Rumble Ghetto here. I absolutely do. Lile for $10 on Rumble. Let me make this bigger here. That's what she said. Says on Rumble, Happy New Year 2024. Stay in the good fight. Great success on CD Creek. Yes, guys, starting today, later today, I'm going to launch the Indiegogo with my good friend, the Western Penman. This guy is an absolute gangster. He cranks out. For example, I want to show this art here, and I want to point something out. I mentioned on my stream in the morning that on January 1st, Steamboat Willie is free. This man, the Western Penman, within one day, goes and cranks out this art. It was like not even one day. It was like 6 hours later, I get this in my inbox. Right? This guy is absolutely a gangster. He is absolutely a great artist, and he's a fan of the channel. So when you support this project, you're going to be supporting not really me, but also a fan of the channel. And what I want to do is get this out there so people are out there making their Steamboat Willie stuff left and right. I want to see it all. I want to see the Blood and Honey version of Steamboat Willie. I want to see the video game. I want to see everything, the manga. I know there's some of you degens that are going to make the hentai. I know it's going to happen, and I want it all because it's all public domain, and we need to support public domain. Hope your resolution is to do less premieres and more lives in 2024. Well, let me talk about that real quick for a second, okay? So, look, guys, I know that you guys prefer lives, and I know most people prefer lives. But the one thing about a premiere is there's some topics where it is better to educate people in a short version, because it's easier to share out an 8 to 15-minute video, right? 20-minute max. Like, let's say a 6 to 20-minute video. We'll put it that range. It's easier to educate somebody with a shorter video than it is with a super long stream. People just don't, when they see the video is an hour, they just don't want to watch sometimes if it's a replay or if you share the link out. So with certain topics, it helps for me to be a little bit duplicative and repeat the information in a summarized version. There's also some people that complain. I have people that complain that I read super chats. I'm not kidding. Last stream, I had somebody complain that I spent too much of the show reading super chats. I'm like, well, I'm sorry that you don't want to send me a super chat. Maybe you're hurt, but that's what I do on my channel. That's what I've always done. And I don't drag out the channel beyond me explaining I don't drag out the stream beyond me explaining what's up and then reading super chats. That's what I do. That is my channel. Tim Riggs says, one other reason I stay is you're a 40K guy. I got 40 questions for you. 1, pre-Horus Heresy, best Legion, favorite Legion. 2, post-Horus Heresy, best chapter. Me, Imperial Fists, Space Wolves. Oh, man, that's a good one. Hold on. What was the opposite? Okay, hold on. I think for pre, I think the World Eaters. I'm a pretty big, like, okay, World Eaters pre, like in terms of like the Chaos Legions or like the pre-Legions. Yeah, those are pretty good. You know, any Blood God stuff going on, you get some Coronate stuff in there. I mean, that's pretty good. There's like what I want to say for post versus like what I mean, can I say Grey Knights? Let me just say Grey Knights afterwards, because they just got like cool extra shit. The Grey Knights they kind of got like a lot of exceptions to the rules. So we'll go Grey Knights. A good question, though. I love the 40K questions. Your actual knowledge strikes fear in the mouse. Guys, that's why they try to suppress me. They try to undercut me. Disney also tries to, whenever I drop a video or information, they try to drop counter information because they want me to cover their story, not the CFTOD story or Florida story. They always are trying to throw me off the path. The mouse is on to me. The mouse knows about me. I know they do. I've heard that they know about me. Missing O-Town says, love listening to you, Andrew. Takes me back to my early days in Orlando and my probable future with TWDC. Hey, listen, if Walt Disney World Company changes its tune, hey, maybe there's a job for a lot of people. If Nelson Peltz takes over and reforms it and cleans it up, maybe we do need some based people in there after it's cleaned up, right? After it's cleaned up, which I hope happens. I hope there's a bunch of base Chads and Stacys who get in there and clean up that. They take out DEI. They just make it a wholesome family theme park for everybody that doesn't think about politics. I want that. I want it to be back to that. That's what it should be. Don, I also see you'll be modding for Joe. Okay, cool. I forgot you still modded for Joe. Joe Neerman, of course. I said everybody has an expertise. Anything Hebrew is Joe Neerman's expertise, unless Ron Coleman is in the room. And then there's seniority. Okay, there's seniority. There's the rabbi and the junior rabbi. Okay, there's the head priest and the second in command. Right. Lele says, gifted 50 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Lele, for supporting folks over there on YouTube. Members, appreciate you guys. Members, you guys are the absolute elite of the elite. Stream Snipe might be some. Aaron says on Rumble, Stream Snipe might be more EU friendly. Those start around 9 to 10 a.m. Yeah, I will try to do more streams, more Stream Snipe streams this year, because this year there will be some trials I want to watch, and because of that, we will definitely be doing some Stream Snipe trials this year. I know you guys enjoyed that. I'm not a guy who wants to trial stream all the time because that's not my thing. I only like interesting ones. But trials like Courtney Clenny, Sarah Boone, I will be stream sniping those and I will be streaming them. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do it myself. I'll stream snipe. I will have the raw footage up when the other guys are being boring, or when they have a really shitty guest on, or when they're giving like some sort of advertising spiel or marketing spiel or whatever. I'll flip over to the raw footage. But otherwise, we'll be stream sniping people like Vices, people like Ricada. Probably Joe will get in on it. If it's a good trial, every lawyer and their mother will try to do it. And I love Mystery Science Theater 3000ing them and just giving the, calling the shots as they try to run their game. It's absolutely entertaining. When will reading property description premiere? Well, dude, Scorpion, did you see the last episode? We pretty much did that. There's a last episode was like very close to reading property descriptions. In fact, I read a very short property description yesterday when I went over the property appraiser site, and I think I got a little too excited because that was my old job. I used to sit on that property appraiser site for hours. Jay says VR's chat tried to get him to dip into 40K earlier tonight. I think they'll need some help getting him hooked. Yeah, you know what would be cool if I could play 40K with him? I think that'd be great. We could just do one of the shorter games, one of the smaller games, like the squad level games. That would be kind of fun to do with VR, or get him into the books because some of the books are amazing, and I'm really into the books. I don't own any minis, but I do know how to play. I've watched my friends. I know how to play. But I've really been into the books. Jeff Moser says Aquaman 2 wasn't woke garbage. Shocked AF, but wasn't Amber in it? Wasn't there a little aqua turd in the bed? Mark Squintus says, next time you're on VR's channel, tell him you heard he is starting a new Warhammer 40K channel specifically for the lore and the battle reports. I'm here for it. I'm here for the 40K channel. I think that'd be big. It's like the stuff I do that you guys are into, like 40K and anime. Like I am also, in addition to being the Disney lawyer, I'm also the weeb lawyer, right? So like I'm the guy who's doing 40K and I'm the guy who's doing anime, right? I can be that guy. You know what? We've got to do a 40K stream. We've actually got to do a 40K stream. So actually I will do a pure Warhammer 40K dedicated stream. I think that'll be fun. Torgo the White says in Jimmy Stewart voice, Merry Christmas, you old YouTuber building and loan. Every time a Disney rat gets roasted, an angel gets its wings. That is absolutely great. Not so great at a Jimmy Stewart voice, but thank you so much, Torgo. You have been around for a while, and I want to say I really appreciate you guys very, very much. Jennifer said, found you around Rittenhouse, started watching you proper when Shapek started all this Reedy Creek mess. Yes. A lot of people are in that same position, Jennifer. Oh, now let's start with the Reedy Creek mess. So let's get into it. I have been waiting to do this for a minute. This is my video, and I want you guys to see here, right here. I did this on May 21st, 2023. So this is one I did May 21st of 2023. It got 25,000 views. So people know that I did this back in the day in May. In May, I said this. So what I've been waiting to do, and today is the day, is to review this video and say, how was I right and how was I not right? And just kind of enjoy it as we go into 2024, as we're in 2024 here. This is kind of a very cathartic thing for me to say, you know what, your boy was right here. Your boy was definitely right here. So let's play this here and let's watch just how right we were about Disney's criminal risk. I also will mock myself, which is always great. I mean, in this video, I'm in my old apartment. I have a better haircut than I do right now. I actually like this shirt combo. It's one of my favorites. And I do have my my old crappy earphones. You can see with these earphones that they're actually fraying at the bottom. These are my new ones, but these phones were fraying at the bottom. Literally, they were coming apart in this video. But that's how dedicated I am to bringing you guys the real stuff. Let's go. Separate lawsuits with these. Hold on. Disney and Bob Iger have continued to dig themselves in deeper and deeper and deeper, as now they're embroiled in two separate lawsuits with the state of Florida, particularly with DeSantis and the DeSantis appointed district, the Central Florida Tourism. This is when they just district, filed, which is the successor to Reedy Creek. And in this battle between Disney and DeSantis, what they don't realize they're digging in on is potential criminal
charges. Yes, they actually risk criminal charges as they go deeper and deeper into this battle, and as they really bring attention to things that no one was paying attention to. So today, I just wanted to run over some potential state charges that can be brought against individuals within the Walt Disney Corporation, or perhaps potentially Bob Iger himself. Now we're going to discuss all of this on this channel. Of course, I am Andrew Esquire. This is a Legal Mindset.
I waited so long, guys. I waited so long
to do this today because a lot of people, when I talk about securities fraud or
by the way, guys, what you guys don't realize is at this point, okay, let me just call out what I'm doing here. Guys, at this point, understand I did not know how to edit videos. So all of these videos I am doing in one solid take. Most people, and I'm not trying to be like too egotistical here, but like most people cannot do a 10-minute video, a 5-minute video, 6-minute video in one solid take with no edits and no stops. I'm just pointing that out there. Most people, when they're doing the videos, when they're putting together videos, especially like pre-recorded videos, they're like clipped together of like stuff they cite at different points, right? But they're not doing like 6, 10, 15 minutes. Your boy's got it here. Your boy's got it here. I didn't even know how to edit. Now I've kind of figured out how to edit a little bit, like a tiny bit. You guys see when like the images pop up or the memes pop up on my pre-recorded videos on my premieres. I've learned a little bit of editing, a little bit. Just a tiny bit, not that much. But here it's it's pretty crazy. And I do know Zoomers cannot stand one continuous shot. No. And they'll tell me, oh, all your videos are the same. All your videos are boring. Well, I'm sorry. Deal with it. Deal with it, Zoomers. Deal with it, Zoomers. I guess we've got Mandy in the house saying Happy New Year's, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. To whoever you are, whatever gender. Tim Riggs says, when you're practicing in Florida, would you have ever predicted the level of public interest in the details behind the legal coverage? Never. I literally thought when I was becoming a YouTuber, I said, there's no way my area of expertise will ever be YouTubeable. I never believed in a million years that a special district would become the topic that I could stream on. This is nuts. It is insane. That literally I represented all of these little special districts in Central Florida, all around Disney World. And I thought, wow, is this, I'm representing Celebration, Bonnet Creek, Reunion, Mystic Dunes, right? All of these clients that are all around Disney, right? And as well as Universal Studios was a corporate client. Right. I was also up there in Lake County. I was up there down in Lee County. And I thought, is this special district law going to be relevant? Well, it turns out it is. It turns out it is hyper relevant, especially when you're talking about bond law, public records law, public-private. These things are absolutely pivotal. So let's continue here with my law explanation.
On fraud, tax fraud. People think federal charges, and
federal charges indeed.
Rightly so. They think that maybe Joe Biden is not going to prosecute individuals that are going after his political enemies. So Ron DeSantis, strong in the Republican Party, obviously opposed to the Biden agenda. Whether or not he runs in this next election cycle, that's kind of neither here nor there. He's opposed to Biden. So people say, look, the feds aren't coming for Disney, that they're not going to help on this. But you don't need to turn to the feds if you're looking for criminal charges. No. There are state level potential criminal charges that can be brought for some things that potentially have happened here. Now, I want to start this out with a couple disclaimers, because unlike other folks that have talked about this subject, I try to be 100% factual with you.
Try to
100% clear and
transparent.
Try
to be.
I have never been a state attorney or a public defender.
Very true.
So I would not call myself an expert in criminal law. I
did have a just real clear. I've never been a public defender or state attorney. I did have an ex-girlfriend. That was a prosecutor, a state prosecutor. So I happen to know a lot about it because of the ex-girlfriend that did a lot of the prosecuting. She would talk to me about her cases every single freaking day. I went and sat in on a lot of her cases. I met Jeff Ashton. I met a lot of the criminal prosecutors there. I met Aramis Ayala, the new chick who came in and said she's not going to enforce the death penalty. So I've heard a lot about criminal stuff, but I never did it myself. And I'm honest about that. I say, look, I haven't done this myself personally, but I have interacted with it. I do know about it, right? All right.
That's not what I do. So let me just throw that out there right now. What I specialized in was special districts, which happens to be what this the primary lawsuit, the state lawsuit, and to an extent the federal lawsuit are about. But also, I was in-house counsel. And when I was in-house counsel, I was in risk and compliance. And one thing I know all about is risks. And when I talk to corporations or my companies, I would say, hey, look, here are the risks. So I'm approaching this from what I know as a risk analysis, saying, look, I'm not saying these are going to be charged. In fact, these may never be charged, right? But here are the potential risks. So not saying any of these happened, but they are risks, huge risks, and they carry criminal penalties. In fact, severe criminal penalties. I will also say this is very, very important, and I strongly believe in this. Whether or not you believe somebody is nice or naughty, whether you like them or not, whether they're woke or whether they're based, it does not matter. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So Disney, Iger, officers of the Disney Corporation, former officers of Reedy Creek, they're all innocent until proven guilty. And most importantly, before any charges can be brought, there needs to be evidence. So anything I mentioned today, they would need to go out and find the evidence. I don't have the evidence. I don't have the proof. I'm just saying these are risks. So just understand that. I am going to tell you statements that have been made and things that have happened that have made me think, this is a reason why I would identify this as a risk.
Okay, now hold on. So real quick, guys, this was made in May. This was before the audit. So this is me saying, this is my speculation. This is my risk analysis, right? This is not me making chart because I didn't have the facts yet. This is before the audit that literally provided facts that can be entered as evidence in a court of law. Now that we have the actual facts, the hard data, I can say from this, I moved from where I was very speculative here, and I'm being very careful so I don't get caught with defamation, so I don't get caught with making false statements. Now we have information which a reasonable person can conclude is enough, a reasonable lawyer can conclude is enough to file criminal charges against Disney. So at this point in May, we did not have the facts. Now we have the facts. So back then, all of this is me having to protect myself because you do not criticize someone or say that they committed a crime unless they actually have. That's defamation, right? That's defamation. That's why this is entitled potential crimes, right? They risk it. It's a risk. Now we know that the charges can be filed. It's a different level of proof. Now, they're not guilty yet. They haven't been proven guilty in a court of law, but they can be. And I think if they're brought to court, they will be. Dayhako says, Happy New Year's. Thank you for educating the community on how legal issues touch things we care about, whether special districts, the decline of Disney, pop culture, relationships, DEI, anime, and Asia. All of these things are interlinked with the law. And I am here for that intersection between pop culture, the law, anime, media, politics, everything, the interlinking, because these things are not removed. Some other channels, they like to think the law is special, the law is above all. That is complete bunk. That's complete BS. The business and the law go hand in hand. Politics and the law go hand in hand. Money, power, and the law go hand in hand. Do not try to divorce these two things. Tim Riggs, thank you so much for the 10 legal mindset memberships. And also you guys here, Adam Dean, Rosie1, Toothless 420, Peter Petrelli, Astrin 1701, David Foley, Rick Morrison, Gary, and Topher Loaf, and Sly. All of you guys, please say thank you to Tim Riggs. He just gave you a membership. So all of those people are courtesy of Tim Riggs. Tabby Timeout says, a legal mindset stream, a perfect way to ring in the new year. Yes, a perfect way to come on with it, with me celebrating the W's from 2023. It's absolutely great. And by the way, once more, guys, it's 2024 in the East Coast. It's 2024 in Asia. Cheers to you guys for bringing it in strong. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Let's continue here. Let's rock it. Where's that video? There we go.
So understand, when I'm identifying it, I'm not just pulling it out of nowhere. I'm saying it's based on things you've said, but these state attorneys would actually need to go find evidence, right? Documents, records, emails, phone conversations, text messages that back this up and provide evidence to bring these criminal charges. But with those disclaimers, and now that we've been 100% transparent on this channel, let's get into Disney's Florida criminal risks. And I know we all love the Gators. So first of all, we're going to start with failure to pay taxes or evasion of tax.
Okay, let's stop here and let me analyze this. So my first call here was that Disney could be at risk for failure to pay tax or evasion of tax. Now, with this, what evidence do we have now about Disney's failure to pay tax or evasion of tax? We now know that Disney did not categorize correctly those theme park tickets or the cruise line stuff or the benefits, the hotels, the special events. They did not qualify those as employee benefits under the IRS regulations, state law. Therefore, they evaded taxation by miscategorizing all of those clear employee benefits as, oh, just administrative expenses. That is on its face, violation of tax law that is actionable by the state. Those benefits, those tickets, that is a ticket is a clear employee benefit. It's a clear employee benefit under tax law, under the scope of tax law that they should have paid for. And look, by the way, Toothless, I agree that taxation is theft. I agree with that. But here's my thing about this, Toothless. If I'm paying for the tax, they have to pay too, okay? So if I have to pay, they have to pay. I'm not, listen, if nobody has to pay, I'm happy, okay? I'm happy if there's no income taxation. I'm happy with de minimis, right? I'm in principle, I'm okay with a VAT. I mean, a VAT is like a better tax. But that being said, if I'm paying for taxes, they need to pay too. Right? That's my stance on taxes. I am not pro taxes. Don't get me wrong here, guys. I am not pro taxes. I'm a minimum tax guy. I mean, I live abroad. Let's just be clear about that, right? I live abroad, right? And it's not just for the beautiful women. We'll put it at that point, right? Minimizing taxes is very important to me. It's extremely important to me. I consult with my clients oftentimes on tax minimization, not evasion, minimization. Now, that said, there are, there's fully legitimate strategies for that. There's fully legitimate ways to take care of that. And of course, you should always consult with a financial professional, in conjunction to a lawyer. But that being said, I'm not pro, but they need to pay, and they're not paying. They haven't been paying for 60 years. And the citizens of Central Florida, those people, Whiskey 77, who's over there in Tampa, he's paying for it. Right? Everybody there in Central Florida, all you guys missing O-Town, back when you were in O-Town, yeah, in Orlando, yeah, that you guys are paying for it. You guys are paying for Disney not paying. Everybody there is subsidizing Disney with their taxes. That's not cool. Scorpion says, Andrew is the Doctor Strange of Florida special districts. Yes. I should do that. That's like a good Halloween outfit, like the Doctor Strange of Florida special districts. Oh, I love it. With the random salute, but instead, like it's like the Harry Potter theme or something. I don't know. I got to figure that one out. That's a pretty good one, though. Okay, so let's continue with this. Also, Scorpion hits with 10 legal mindset memberships. Wait, are we at a record? Hold on. Did we pass a record? We have not. We're at 247. The record is 425. So we're not beating the record yet, but we're doing pretty damn good today. Thank you so much, though, Scorpion. And shout out to the people that Scorpion helped out here, which real quick is Philip, James, Rumham, love it. Dennis Horton, Rude Dog, Jeremy Bronson, Darren G, Dobre Begonja, Karen Vasquez, Ticket to Hell, and Tim Riggs. Begonja, is that another word for, because I know Dobre is Polish, but Begonja, is that a word for like a private part? I don't know. Maybe. My Polish is slipping. It's been a while since I've been in Poland. I love Poland so much. All right, playing this.
Now, and this is in Florida statute. And by the way, whenever I put FS, that stands for Florida statute, 839.13. Now, I'm going to read these statutes. Sometimes I'll paraphrase, sometimes I'll read them in full, but I'm going to translate from legalese. So don't worry, I am here to put this in a way that you guys can understand. So this is a catch-all statute, 198.40, failure to pay tax or evasion of tax. So any person required under this chapter to collect, account for, and pay any tax imposed by this chapter who willfully fails to collect or truthfully account for, pays over such tax, or who willfully attempts in such manner to evade or defeat any tax imposed by this chapter or payment thereof, shall be guilty of a felony to a third degree. So what are we talking about here? Look, if you're somebody who has to collect a tax, i.e. a government, i.e. Reedy Creek, and you did not do that,
mindset with special guest legal mindset.
That's something that's a risk. And what's one of the taxes we've been talking about? Well, Bob Iger keeps saying that, well, Reedy Creek is Disney and Disney is Reedy Creek. He said it over and over and over again.
Yes, he has.
If that's true, then those bonds, remember the $1 billion of bonds they issued, billions of dollars of bonds? Yeah, they would need to pay taxes on those.
So full stop here. So I said in this video almost a year ago, I said they would need to pay taxes on the bonds. Guess what they did? They went and built 3 parking garages, the Disney Springs parking garages, the orange, grapefruit, and what is it, lime? Is it lime, guys? I think it's lime. Correct me in the chat. Chat, is it lime? Is that the third citrus? I know orange and grapefruit for sure. I think it's lime, but whatever. That said, 70 million that they misappropriated there. I mean, there's actually more even in the construction cost, but those are supposed to be public. Those are supposed to be available for everybody. Since they're private, they would need to make them taxable. Those were paid for with tax-free bonds. Those parking garages you park in were paid for with tax-free public bonds. Lime? Okay, thank you, Danielle. And Grant, I see you guys got that in the chat. Cool. Thank you, Grant, Danielle. So, guys, that is a huge tax violation here. That is a huge, and we have proof that what I said was entirely true. Bob Iger saying Disney is Reedy Creek and Reedy Creek is Disney. We see it in the orange, lime and grapefruit garages. They actually believe that, and they took that to town, and they're using those public garages as private Disney parking, which they should not do. That should be exclusively controlled by Reedy Creek as public parking for everybody in the entire district, right? And actually the public in general. Actually, because they're public bonds, they have to be open to the public in general. So anybody can park there, and under whatever public rules that Reedy Creek, the CFTOD, sets up, they can park there and leave their car there for however long, as long as they're following the rules, right? So they cannot stop a universal bus from parking in there. But that's what they do right now. What they do is they treat it as if it's Disney private parking. They treat it as if it's parking that Disney can control, and Disney should not be able to control that at all whatsoever. So this is one where under this state law, they can be convicted. So we've already got off rip one that they've got a pretty good chance to be convicted under.
Those would actually be taxable bonds, not tax-free bonds. So they would owe back taxes on those bonds.
See, they owe
and
taxes.
If they knew that this entire time, then they should have been collecting that. That's a big one. That's a huge one. Also, if we look into the books, did Disney really pay everything they should have been paying?
Nope.
And are they going to continue to pay everything they should be paying? Once again, you need evidence to find that. But if any of those violations were there, 198.40, you've got failure to pay tax, and you've got individuals, including folks of the former Reedy Creek, that might be, or let's say risk a felony of the third degree. And don't you worry, I'm going to explain all these different levels, felony of the third degree.
So right here, you could get Bob Iger on RICO for this. You could get John Classy. You could get McGowan. You could get a lot of these folks who were the executives, who are the management in Reedy Creek, who were there at that time when they issued the bonds. You could get those guys in. You get those guys on criminal charges. You can levy those against them, because this is a scheme to defraud the state. It's a scheme to defraud the state of those bond funds.
What that matter means in terms of jail time. at the end of this video. So hang around. Next, we've got falsifying records. Now, this is a big one. I am going
this one's
to
great. Falsifying
paraphrase
records.
this, but this is very, very, very broad. It is Florida Statute 839.13. So if any judge...
Guys, I'm just going to throw this out here right now. There's no way that Disney is not guilty of this. There's no way that Disney is not guilty of falsification of record. I mean, like, based on what we've seen right now and their disclosures and what they've said, I mean, this one is like, or at least RCID, the former RCID and the Disney employees that were involved in RCID are complicit in this one for sure. Let me be very clear. This one is going to be, if the AG files this claim, it is just a dunk, because the records are not looking good. And what this says for PricewaterhouseCoopers and the Disney auditors is those guys were not paying attention at all. Those guys were like asleep at the wheel, literally asleep at the wheel. Let's continue here.
Justice, mayor, alderman, clerk, sheriff, coroner, or other public officer, or employee or agent of, or contractor with a public agency, or any person whatsoever shall steal, embezzle, alter, corruptly withdraw, falsify, or avoid any record, process, charter, gift, grant, conveyance, or contract, or any paper filed in a judicial proceeding in any court of the state, or shall knowingly discharge, conceal, forfeit, or other forfeiture, or other paper above mentioned, or shall forge, deface, or falsify any document or instrument recorded or filed at any court or registry, acknowledgement certificate, or fraudulently alter, deface, or falsify minutes. That's meeting minutes for government meetings.
So all those minutes that they did not turn in, that they left documents out on. So that is something that RCID did repeatedly. Also, what they did is they refused public records requests. They just did not grant them. They're like, yeah, no, or they'd ignore you, or they'd just say, no, we've got nothing. They straight up lied about public records requests. Now they have the gall to sue the district over that. Come on. After the district gave them 888 documents, but they're like, we want more than 888 documents. That's not pages, right? That's probably tens of thousands of pages, if not hundreds of thousands of pages of documents, right? But no, they falsified records. I do like Big Pete says, and then there's the mess with the energy company. Yes, the energy company stuff, the RCES is huge. That stuff is an absolute boondoggle. And there's a lot of records there that could be falsified, right? When we look at that. Butterbiscuit92 says, is this live? Yes, it is. Really enjoyed the Project Egg Roll stream. Nice to see you talk anime with some co-hosts who aren't angry. Hope for more streams like that without a co-host who's angry about everything. No, listen, and especially for my weeb streams, I bring on different people who are available that day. I'll also do solo weeb streams. That's perfectly fine with me. If you guys have people to recommend, that's also great. But I definitely will bring on the Project Egg Roll guys again, maybe when I talk anime or other topics like that. Those guys were really cool. They were really fun, and they were positive guys. They're base Chads. I mean, they're out there, killing it, over there in the Philippines with Gray, talking JRPGs, and then over there, out in the red country of California, with Phil. So it was great talking with both those guys. They were really, really good, really cool guests. And that's the type of guests I'm going to have on, guys. I'm not having guests on that want to purely drama farm or clout chase or whatever else. This is not the clout chasing channel. This is about people that are creating good content, and they're dedicated to creating good content, as well as being at least partially positive. I don't want people on this channel that are only negative. If you are only negative, if you're an Eeyore or just a angry bird over here, and that's all, you have one mode and it's angry or kind of mopey, go, oh, woe is me. Yeah, you're not coming on this channel. It's 2024 is about all of those people will not be on my channel at all in 2024. I make this guarantee for 2024 that I will not have anybody on my channel who is just a whiny, complaining person or negative the entire time. No, it's okay to have positive and negative things to say. That's fine. But this channel is not just about problems. It's about solutions as well. If you don't have a solution, I'm not really interested in hearing what you have to say. Just like, guess what? Anime is a solution to a lot of bad Disney animation, right? A big answer to that is anime. Right? It's a positive thing. You can go out and read some fantastic manga. You can watch fantastic animes. There's great stuff out there. You don't like that? Hey, 40K, guys. 40K is great books, great stuff coming out. Hopefully the Amazon show is all right. There's a lot of good stuff out there to be positive about. Let's have some positivity as well. All right. Let's go. By the way, books, documents, or proceedings whatsoever belonging to any public office within this state, yeah, they're guilty of a misdemeanor of the first degree. That's a lot. And I know that's a mouthful there, but guys, there's so many potential risks here. We're talking the bond documents. So any of those disclosures in the bond documents, those were all recorded. Guys, I exposed those as well. I showed you guys that in the bond documents, they actually had information that was not true. So in the bond documents, they had information that is patently wrong. So potential charge under this statute. Corey Cass says, have you checked out The Ascendance of a Bookworm yet? I have not, but I will. It is on my list. It is on my list, Corey. It's on my list. I only have so much time for anime. It is on my list. Right now, I'm trying to get through this manhwa recap about this necromancer who's just like owning everybody. It's a Korean one, but it's really, really good. This guy, he gets granted this class, like everybody's granted a class. You go to school, it's all the kind of that sort of thing. And he gets granted a necromancer, and he's like kind of like OP. It's a pretty good story. It's a pretty good story. But yeah, I will get to it. We'll get to it. You remember those restrictive covenants they put in there? Remember those 11th hour documents? Yeah, if they falsified anything there was anything that they put in there they knew was not true. Yeah, there you go. There you go. If they had any minutes they knew that wasn't true, anything that they altered, right? In Reedy Creek, any of those Reedy Creek documents, there you go. Also, mind you, who's at stake here? Remember, the Disney Chief Counsel was a contractor McGowan
for Reedy Creek. Therefore, these duties attached to them. So if they in any way changed any of those documents in a false manner or fraudulent manner or altered them, could be problems. It's a huge risk. Any of those documents in Reedy Creek that were altered, huge risk here. This is massive, 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 massive. And this one right here is going to be one of the ones that I think is the largest risk, because Disney treating a public entity as a division of Disney, as Bob Iger has repeatedly said, oh, this is Disney. This is Disney. If they just treated it like Disney, this is going to be really, 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 really tough. This section is going to be really tough under 839.13. I would be sweating. I think this is a huge risk for them, just based off the statements that they've made so far.
The next
and what
one.
We know,
we're coming up next one.
What's been filed and what's been disclosed publicly. All right.
Here we go.
False, fictitious, or fraudulent act or statement of representation. So this is another catch-all which they could be gotten for.
Okay, so let's talk about this one. A false, fictitious, or fraudulent act, statement, or representation. Have they said anything anywhere that's been false, materially false, fictitious, fraudulent, or misleading? Absolutely 100%. Those statements about what they're doing with the bond funds, what they're doing with their investments, that's all been false and misleading. But it's been all of it. It's been great. It's been great. So they've been repeatedly, Bob Iger, through his statements, his public statements, has been repeatedly saying things that are false, misleading, and fictitious. So there's issues there as well on the corporate side. And Butter Biscuit said, by the way, if you ever wanted to leave manhwa or manhwa recommendation, should I make a locals post? Yes, make a locals post. And also, I will do an episode of Legal Weeb Set that just focuses on manhwa, and it's going to be dedicated to that. I want to make sure I get like a guest or two that's like more of a manhwa specialist, not just anime, but like likes manhwa specifically. So it can be a really interesting stream. So if you have any streamers that you'd recommend that might be good to bring on, or people willing to come on, That'll be great. You can also send me a post on Locals or X. If you want to send me recommendations on X, that's also great as well. But Locals works just fine. Locals is a great platform. Or Discord, my Discord private community. Cool. Let's rock and roll.
Potentially under 817.155. So
yes.
This is just generally if you knowingly or willfully falsify or conceal
issues
material
will
fact,
count too.
make a false, fictitious, fraudulent statement, or make or use any false document, knowing containing any false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry. And that's a felony of a third degree, much like the last one. So you can view these two, this one and the former criminal charge is very similar. But once again, two separate options in the Rolodex of the state attorney when they're looking at this and investigating this to go ahead and say, did Disney make any false disclosures either as on the government side or on the business side? Because this comes in and hits them on the business side. So if Disney was going in there and doing anything on the business side they shouldn't have done or shouldn't have made, remember that parks entity, that Walt Disney Parks, that's a Florida entity. Yeah, there's some huge risk there.
Yep, corporate risk.
There's some huge risk there,
which we now have
within
proof
the jurisdiction of the Department of State. So this would fall under this particular statute.
Let's go to the next one.
Fraudulent statements.
So unlawful filing of false documents or records against real or personal property. So skipping forward here, this one is when you file a false statement about property. And this is what they did by filing those real covenants, by filing one of those real covenants, which they knew were not enforceable, which they knew violated the law. They also knew that they were making false representations in those statements. That is an unlawful filing of a false document or record. So that would fall under this statute as well, the specific one. And then I want to jump to a little bit ahead because I know I ramble a little bit with this one and then get to this one. This is an absolute big one. Right now, Disney is wanting to get all of these documents from Reedy Creek, from the CFTOD. And the truth is, the person who didn't turn over the documents is Disney and their Disney administrators. So John Classy, the former administrator, who was kind of double dealing for Disney, who was hiding for Disney. Disney is the one that's hiding records from its successor. It's hiding records, that guy. So John Classy, he risks being charged with this charge under 839.14. And that's why he's being subpoenaed right now. He's being subpoenaed to come in and talk. This is something that is already out there that he's being subpoenaed. So I can imagine that he may be charged with this crime. In fact, Classy may be one of the first people that goes down criminally in Florida, the former district administrator of RCID. So look for that as potentially the first charge. But of course, I predicted this a year ago.
Turned over all its documents because it's looking like there's some missing documents and emails and text messages and other things that were not turned over to the CFTOD, to the new
They
district.
were not. Cheers.
And anybody who willfully withholds records, papers, documents, or writings, well, guess what? If you mutilate, destroy, take away, or otherwise prevent the complete possession by successors,
I speak really fast.
You're guilty of a second-degree misdemeanor.
I own that.
So boom, another crime on the line for people that are withholding those documents. That's Disney, that's Reedy Creek, that's anybody who's holding out those documents. Next, and this is a very interesting one. This is a little bit tinfoil. This is me reaching.
Okay, now this one is tinfoil, and I'm gonna call this one out as like this one is the most speculative because this would have to do with people buying the bonds. But where this comes in now is, remember that email? Do you guys know? You were guys paying attention? Remember that email at rcidbroker@disney.com? Do you guys remember that one? Where a Disney employee served as the municipal broker for RCID securities. Now, it may not fall under speculation, but it's very close. It is a securities type violation whereby the Disney Corporation was representing itself as a broker of Reedy Creek's securities when in all likelihood, they were not authorized to do that and not authorized to serve in that role. And they didn't disclose they were serving in that role. And like you said, Grant, it was with the same lawyer that was covering both. You can't do that. You can't have one lawyer covering all of this. That's a conflict of interest. So you've got tons of issues with that. But speaking of no issues, I got no issues with 50 Legal Mindset memberships from Tank Rat, who brings us right now up to 300 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Tank Rat. You are an absolute gangster. Real quick, Tom Sawyer, Read by Nature, Samantha Shoelover, Smash Monkley, Frankly Zero, Raging Fury, Alexander, Stay Zooted, Michael H., John Edwards, Fragnar, Jeff Moser, Exceedingly Curious, Angela Connor, Messi Chavez, Keith Parker, Kabir, Stephen Walk, Wayne, Capathetic, Megan, McCool, Carl Vanderman, Experiment 626, Lechenk, Sandy S, Squirrel 1300, and Gina. Say thank you to Tank Rat. He has come through for you. Jeremy F, Polka Overlord, Doug Peacock, all you guys, say thank you to Tank Rat. Also, Dylan Wilson, Richard, David, Muriella, Lord Bauman. Make sure your settings are also set, guys, to receive gift memberships. Make sure your settings are toggled on to receive them on YouTube. On Rumble, though, you can sign up as a subscriber. There's actually a member there. And I do appreciate the folks that are supporting me on Rumble and smashing that pussy. Okay, let's continue here. Thank you so much, Tank Rat, for being so great.
And this is definitely, let me just go out here and say this.
Here, let me fast forward a little
bit. Well, if Disney is Reedy Creek and Reedy Creek is Disney, then none of those people can own Disney stock or scripts.
It's true.
If they're the same thing, then they're violating this statute. So are they or aren't they? Or are they distinct? Or are they different? I would just say now this is a long shot, admittedly. But what I'm saying is when you keep saying something over and over again, that these are the same thing, you risk putting yourself in the crosshairs of these more remote statutes that would normally never apply to a corporation. But what is Disney doing here? Now, I don't know whether Disney is owns any of the bonds that were issued. Now, that might be an issue if there's something going on there. However, I think this one is entirely because Iger made crazy statements over and over again.
Iger's the one who opened them up,
which is placed as a risk. Once again, we need more evidence, but definitely a risk. Misappropriation of public funds. This is a large catch-all under 206.56.
Okay, guys, this one right here, this charge, this is the most clear charge that they can bring under Florida statute 206.56. We now have proof that is so slam dunk about this one. So slam dunk. Unlawful use of tax collected theft of state funds. So it's misappropriation. Excuse me, burping here with this beer of public funds. The only thing I've had for breakfast is beer. So shout out to Tiger and shout out to Beer for Breakfast and all those that enjoy your bread in the liquid form. Now, this is something that is very, very much true. So anyone using taxes collected, so that's state funds, government funds, with the attempt to deprive the state of the funds and appropriate them for their own use, well, Disney appropriated those funds for its own use. It used the police services, is a slide brought up, police services for its own purposes. These purposes were not public purposes. They were Disney purposes. And therefore, since we see that, we can prove that objectively, we know Disney risks huge liability under 206. Also, for all of those expenditures that were put on the corporate credit card, on the government credit card that were really Disney expenses. So the district administrator using his government credit card to charge up Disney charges, that's extraordinarily suspect. That one puts them under the scope of this one. All right, the last one I want to get to here and make sure we touch here is sunshine law violations. Let's jump into that and see what Past Me has to say about this.
These statements here, this is a very long chapter 119. I suggest that you guys don't read it all because it's very long, but just generally.
By the way, Disney has now filed a chapter 119 lawsuit against the CFTOD. So ironically, Disney is suing the CFTOD when they are probably the ones that did not turn over the proper public records. Hilarious.
here's what you should know in 119.1, that generally all state, county, and municipal records, Reedy Creek was a type of municipality. It was a subdivision of the state, are open to personal inspection and copying by any person. Providing access to public records is a...
Also, guys, hey, cheers to the CST, guys, to the Central Standard Time. Happy New Year to all those in the center of America. You are the core. And you know, look, you don't want to be all shoulders. You don't want to be all shoulders. I mean, some people have weak shoulders and can't be helped, but you don't want to be all shoulders. You want to make sure your core is strong. Make sure you're doing core exercises. And the Central Time is the core of America. So cheers, Happy New Year's to the core of America. You guys are the absolute support for those in America. Yeah, Nashville, those up in Tennessee, up in Texas as well. You guys, absolutely, it's the solid part of America. Cheers, guys. The heartland, baby. All right, let's continue with it.
Duty of each agency. So everybody has to make
duty.
If there's a public entity, they've got to have access to it. And just because it's automated or electronic does not mean it. You have to provide reasonable access to records. Okay. And you have to keep them and give them in a manner as they're stored, right? So if they're stored as a PDF, you give it as a PDF. If they're stored as a doc, you can give it as a doc. You don't have to change the medium. You don't have to put it in a way it's not normally stored. So, for example, I would have people say, hey, can you burn me a CD? Well, we don't really do that. So we're not burning you a CD of documents. That's not what we're doing. We'll give you a flash drive with some documents on it because that's much easier and that's how we maintain them and would normally transport them. But they've got to maintain them. And if they fail to do that, well, they're committing several different infractions.
And these are all what Disney is attempting to charge right now. They're attempting to levy those violations against the CFTOD. They're attempting to throw these violations back at the CFTOD. But before we continue with this, I have to drop this. Tank Rat dropping another AED 500, a giant red bomb in here, like the red flags given off by Disney's legal positions. Thank you so much, Tank Rat, for the giant base chat and your huge support today. Tank Rat alone has held this up with almost 200 memberships at this point. I mean, this is nuts. Thank you so much, Tank Rat, over there in the Emirates. Dude, you are absolutely so based, and you've been around on my channel for so long. So let me just say, from me to you, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Dude, absolutely nuts. So it says, which anime are you looking forward to next season? I'm waiting on Solo Leveling, Blue Exorcist, Tales of Wedding Rings, and The Wrong Way of Healing Magic, and a few ONA and OVAs. Dude, I'm not even caught up on this season. I mean, we started watching Shangri-La Frontier. I want to finish that, man. That looks so great. I will say I wasn't as into Firern as other people, or Firern as other people. I watched the first episode. It was all right, but some people say you got to kind of get through the slower parts and it gets better, and apparently it's amazing, but I just haven't been able to get in that. Solo Leveling I've heard is pretty good. I haven't heard about The Wrong Way to Healing Magic and Tale of Wedding Rings. Blue Exorcist I've heard good things about as well. So I will check out, tell you what, I will check out those animes specifically because you tell me to. In fact, I'm gonna take them down. I'm gonna take them down right now. I'm gonna take a nice screenshot of that, a manual screenshot with my phone, right, and make sure I get those down, just so I've got some great stuff there to watch, because I'm always looking for good anime and good anime recommendations. That's why I do my weeb streams, guys. It's not because I know everything about anime. It's because you guys know more than I do often, and I'm looking for good recommendations and things to recommend to other people, right? Not because I'm some anime guru. I'm actually not. I'm just a casual who likes anime when it's good. When the story is good, I like it. If it sucks, or it's some like woke soy boy shit, I don't want it. Or if it's not for me, because some anime is marketed to women, and that's fine. It's not for me, right? Thank you so much, though. Appreciate that. I actually really like Shangri-La Frontier, like in a ridiculous way. Just watching that, like watching one episode, I was like, dude, I'm hooked on this. I want to get more. So I've got to catch up on that one for sure. Skull Leader says, if you don't like the slow parts of Fire, and you're just not gonna like it. Yeah, and that's That's my problem, man. That's my problem. The slow parts were just like not that engaging for me, right? And I wasn't that engaged by the main character. So like, sorry, like Elf Girl doesn't do it for me, but like whatever, you know, like if you guys like it, dude, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Chris says, come on, Andrew. We know you love BL anime. No, just no. We're going with hard no on that one. All right. So I think that was about it for my thing. Let me talk about punishment here. This is punishment and how these people can go to jail. So I want to catch this last part of my video and what I was talking about over almost a year ago. This is 8 months ago, almost a year ago in prison.
So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about up to 30 years to life for Mickey. And once again, these are risks. These would need to be proven in a court of law.
Up to 30 years in jail.
Because of Bob Iger and because of Disney and everything they've done in terms of statements they made during earnings calls, because the representations they made in their own legal filings, and because of the position they're taking in the media, including direct statements and indirect statements by corporate shills and by pixie dusters, they're really putting themselves in a weird position. And I think they're having huge, unnecessary, self-imposed risks of criminal prosecution. If I was their in-house counsel, I would be running around with the fire hose trying to tamp down these risks. That being said, guys, make sure you're liking this video. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree. If you consider yourself a Florida criminal expert, leave a comment below. Tell me whether you think these are good charges, bad
I love
charges.
my endings.
Do you have any you would add to this? Are there any other things that you would add to this? What else are you thinking about when you think of Disney and crimes? Talk to you later.
I think about a lot of things. All right, that was it, guys. That was over 8 months ago. It'd been a while. I meant to review that video, and now we have done it here in the new year. We reviewed 2023, and I was absolutely spot on. All of these things I was calling out has been spot on, and now not just those charges, but we have other criminal charges on top of all of those. So looking back in retrospective at that video, all of those charges are at least possible. There's the municipal securities ownership. That one's a little bit more long shot. That one is a little long shot. But the rest of those charges, right? All of those charges can be brought with the facts that we have. We have enough facts on that Disney audit, the CFTDOD audit, for the AG to file criminal charges against members of RCID as well as Disney employees that were working with RCID. So that is 100% on point. And by the way, we'll definitely have Gosney on when those charges are filed. Wolf's Pain says, Happy New Year, Andrew. Today is the first day that Steamboat Willie is officially in public domain. Yes. And guys, because of that, make sure you are following me and also following my artist, the Western Penman. Okay. He is dropping my Cedar Creek with Steamboat Willie. Later today, we are going to, this project is dropping, Cedar Creek with Steamboat Willie. It is dropping into the public domain. This guy, this is his art here. He drew this by hand, right? This is his stuff. This is his as well here. The cover of Welcome to Cedar Creek. This is exactly what we're talking about when we talk about Cedar Creek. It is going to be Steamboat Willie and friends guiding you through the multiple corruptions of the most magical little corporate kingdom in all of these states. So it is going to be absolutely great. We're going to have so much fun. You guys, this is going to open up to you guys very, very soon. And it's going to be very, honestly, this is going to be for everybody. I want everybody to get this. It's going to be mostly digital. We may add on some stuff, some perks that are like mail or delivery. But for now, it's going to be mostly digital delivery. But I'm hoping everybody can get this. And it's not going to be high ticket item. It's going to be very low, very inexpensive, very simple, because I want everybody to get this. Guys, listen. I have had a fantastic 2023 with you. I am looking forward to 2024 and covering this stuff into the future forever. So guys, make sure that you get on this and you stay with this channel. Also, Tim Riggs said might be a good Discord thing if you have a Discord server. Yeah, I have a Discord server. So maybe I'll add a channel for Cedar Creek. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. What is the likelihood of charges? Very high. It's almost 100%. There will be criminal charges. The question is, what criminal charges and when do they bring them. It's not if, it's when at this point. There need to be charges. It's unjust not to bring charges at this point, right? So yes, we definitely have a BLM for members, for base legal mindset and for locals. Anyways, guys, take care. Have a great one, and I will see you later. I will be on Joe's show in about 2.5 hours, and I will see you guys tomorrow on my channel around the same time in the evening to talk about CD Creek. We're going to be exclusively doing that. Also, Tank Rat, welcome as a member of BLM, or sorry, the RPG. I don't know how you donated all the memberships without being a member, but welcome as a member of the RPG. Appreciate you guys. Oh, I guess I should raid Joe, right? Should I raid Joe? Let me just raid Joe here real quick. Give me a second. I'm gonna raid Joe. Because I am able to do that, right? That is kind of a thing. Give me 1 second, guys. Hang out for 1 second, and we will raid Joe Neerman. I think I have him set up here. Search channels. So good logic. Bad logic. Let's see. I don't know whether, but guys, I don't know whether. Wait a second. Is this Ron Coleman? No, not Ron Coleman. Wrong one. Why is it when I search good logic? That Ron Coleman comes up? Can you guys answer why Ron Coleman is coming up while I search good logic? Is that a little bit problematic? All right, guys. I will catch you